How happy I was to eat crocodile stew. I'll just be eating palm cores later. It's not that the prey is too cunning. It's that they shot a little off. A fish has to be divided into several portions. I didn't expect it to be so miserable. Is this the right way to open up for wilderness survival? AJ didn't expect to be so dehydrated. This side is really at odds with me. I can't even think of hunting anywhere far away. If we keep this up, we'll be carried away. I didn't take any water with me when I left the house. I was careless. I should have got a container. Now it's up to you to turn it around, okay? This bark is crucial. Scrape off as much as you can. It suits an upset stomach, especially when you drink this river water. Bactericidal. Don't worry because drink this dirty water, causing vomiting and diarrhea. It's a miracle antibiotic in the wild. My body feels a lot better already. Let's hope we find our prey soon. Edgar's departure has left the team feeling a little down. What does it matter if you can't hunt? As long as I can catch more fish. I was able to make it to the end of the challenge. It's just too much for Edgar's side. Can understand his desire to extend his advantage. But I'm afraid the price is too high. Compared to before, the food is really less. I hope this pond isn't empty of fish. I really didn't see a big fish. Matt's got plenty of food. Just a jerky on it. That's enough to feed 3 people. But let's just say one thing. It's really hard to sleep at night smelling it. Does anyone know which part this is? Anyone who eats alligators knows that. Besides the tail, the tongue tastes best. Dan has also prepared the materials for the shelves. Steam the meat then. The scent goes to the next level. I thought I'd catch a crocodile. I just didn't realize it was that big. It really changes the challenge. It feels like 100 days is not a problem. The meat has been simmered in the pot. It tastes even more delicious after steaming. It looks a bit like barbecued pork. It's just the juice that seeps out. I could show off a bowl of rice. The crocodile tongue that Matt highly recommends. There is something. It tastes a little bit like a snow steak. Take every bite. The juices will burst in an instant. All Dan did was yell 6-6. You don't know how to describe it. I'll never get tired of it. This is what wilderness survival is all about. AJ's still venturing out into the jungle. I wonder if he'll find Matt's way. After all, there are traces of human activity around. Pick up the pace and dive in immediately. I didn't know it was Matt's side. In fact, it is also fate. Edgar's current shelter. It's what Gas left behind. Matt worked with him several times. I didn't realize anyone was still here. I thought it was just Edgar. I didn't realize his team was still around. AJ saw a pile of crocodile meat. The heart is very envious. Eat and drink well here. Even a place to sleep is so comfortable. Where is the challenge here? It's like a wilderness vacation. The 60-day challenge is not easy. They're willing to take Edgar here. Work together to complete the challenge. AJ's hike was a great success. Not just finding new allies and a crocodile feast. Vaz knew they were at the old camp. I know exactly what's going on over there. I'm sure this area would be better. AJ's going to stay here for a few days. Bring your team back then. Hopefully we'll find a new hunting spot in a few days. Feeding 6 people. Steven didn't know that. Worrying about AJ and looking for food. I did see some lemons. It's a new source of food. It can supplement a lot of nutrients needed by the body. Prove that there are resources waiting to be tapped. Can't focus on fishing right now. Just be aware of your surroundings. Although Matna is open to new partners. But food resources are really not enough. We need to expand the hunt. At least one more big crocodile. It would be worse if there were too many people. To meet everyone's needs. Matt's under a lot of pressure right now. Luckily, the birds are still around. I had to rely on my brothers to feed me. Observe your surroundings carefully. See if there's a chance we can take it. This is the only one that hasn't left. Just put an arrow through it and see. It went a lot better than I thought it would. I got one pretty easy. Matt's strength is there for all to see. And it brings delicious food to the team. It feels a little bigger than the last one. Go back and show Edgar right now. Come here. How can you be hungry? Make sure the arrangements are clear. Steven's back here. Not very satisfied with today's harvest. If Edgar's still here, he's not going to get enough. Just a little lemon for now. I don't know if I'm too hungry. Cut your hand if you're not careful. Amber looked at it and was very worried. Is mainly wound infection how to do well? For now, it can only be washed with water. The wound wasn't very deep. There's just no way to stop the bleeding. I had to call a doctor. The situation is not so bad. The bleeding stopped quickly. Steven has done so many challenges. First encounter injury. If they get carried away because of this, I can't accept it. I can't talk you out of it. Let's just hope he keeps an eye on the wound. Matt didn't get back to camp until dark. His teammates thought he was in some kind of accident. I didn't expect to find another bird. Edger feels old. We still have to hold Matt's thigh. You can eat crocodile meat right here. There's still big birds to eat tomorrow. How is this a survival challenge? I'm just here to stock up. Hurry up and get rid of the big bird. Together, the three quickly stripped the fur off. I want to stew it in a pot. It's a little big. Only a part of it can be cooked. Edger is totally in love with this place. I'm not going back until I've had enough. The challenge came on day 43. I wake up and I have things to do. Edger helped complete the shelter, and Vaz went to build the tree house alone, even without the help of his teammates. The setup process was also fairly quick. Matt thinks it's kind of cool to get a better view of the water. Try to get it done early and go hunting. Steven's fingers aren't feeling good. Some meat is urgently needed to fill the stomach. They're still worried about Edger. If I knew he was eating and drinking well, I guess that fear is turning into envy. Every day, to and from the pond, just hoping to catch a crocodile. Today's trap still didn't yield much. They've already put in a lot of bait. I feel like I'm fattening up the gators. Steven is going to knock the head off the fish. Try to get the smell out. Hopefully, this will attract the crocodiles. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to fuck you. Amber says to keep a balanced mind. It's like having a pet. I'm just tired of fishing and feeding every day. I heard something different on my way to fishing. The bee just came right up and bit. Scared them into evacuating. Amber stings herself for some reason. It left marks all over the body. Now it's a burning pain. I hope it doesn't cause anaphylactic shock. It's a little early for dinner. Can only neutralize the lower toxicity with dirt. The coolness relieves the pain. Steven helps put on. He didn't expect to get stung so much. It feels like it's getting a whole lot bigger. It's going to be a tough night to sleep. Survival is still on Matt's side. Everyone is working energetically. The dock provides a hunting ground. Edger's growing to love this place. There are just more important things. He's going back to join his team. Vaz doesn't think Edger's in good shape. The suggestion is that they just go. I know my way around camp. Ajay can stay in camp and wait for his team. The goodwill that everyone sends. Ajay was almost moved to tears. Steven was sleeping well. I didn't expect the big cat to walk over here. So frightened that they immediately rose to guard. Too bad the cat didn't come. That would have been on the table. I'm not going to be able to sleep now. I just hope we find something to eat in the morning. The challenge came on day 44. Matt's team is on its way to Ambona. Vaz never thought he'd get back to his old camp. The mood is quite mixed. That place is really not suitable for long-term living. I can't imagine why they would refuse. Steven didn't know that. Still wondering how to fend off the big cat. What if you're worried about Edger on the road? Matt was there, actually. It's just a big cat. That's straight up. It took them a while. Back in familiar territory. Matt just sprinted forward like this. Steven almost took a backhand. It's just too dangerous. We suggest you try again at noon. Something was going to happen sooner or later. They didn't expect anyone to come, especially with Matt around. His strength is there for all to see. It's the leg of the wilderness survival leg. Most of the players have been exposed, even worked together on previous challenges. Soon everyone got on well with each other. Things aren't going well with Edger. That's why they came over here. I hope we can complete the remaining challenges together. Vaz knows what's going on here. If we keep wasting away on this side, just walking wears you out. The most important thing is that Matt is there. Nothing to worry about with hunting. If you're not willing to move, well, that means they have a problem. You don't need convincing, do you? See the fat on Matt's body. I'll see how good life is over there. Wanted to see the crocodile trap before I left. It's the only hook they have left. It should be recycled or recycled. Now all the players are gathered together. There must be a lot of stress around food. But if we work together and work together, The quality of team life will definitely improve. We'll see what happens next. Ajay stayed at the camp to help gather materials. Whether it's for firewood or to perfect the shelter, all can be used. It's good to collect more anyway. I also boiled water to cool and wait for teammates. I'm just as upset as an old father. I hope they have a good trip back. You don't have to worry that much. Matt's leading the team. What could possibly happen? It was talking and laughing the whole way. You said it was a challenge. I thought it was some weird outing. It took about 4 hours to get there and back. Edgar is finally seeing the whole crew back. It's not easy to be with his teammates again. I was so excited inside. The environment here is even better than expected. I wish I hadn't come here sooner. It's like a resort. Now I know why Edgar didn't want to come back. I'd be stuck here if I were you. As the number of people increases, the pressure to survive becomes even greater. The easiest food available at the moment. That must be a palm core. A tree this big is enough for everyone to eat. This is only temporary satisfaction for everyone. If you want to really eat, you have a hunt. Amber thinks it's pretty good. You can eat palm cores as soon as you get here. There's also jerky and fruit to quench cravings. Who doesn't love these days? She didn't think she'd make it this far. To be the last female contestant. Strength has been recognized by everyone. Keep trying and keep challenging yourself. Everyone gets along well together. What contradictions do we see at the moment? If we keep it up, I'm sure we can complete the challenge. The food side is settled for now. The sleeping bed needs to be adjusted. It's not going to work with 6 people. It's best if someone goes to the tree house. It was really quick for everyone to help set it up. All we need is a roof over it, and then get 2 more beds. It's a perfect shelter. The materials are nearby. It's very easy to collect. A few clicks cut down a tree. This bark is easier to peel off. It can be made into a rope. The materials needed are almost ready. Weave the bed in place like this. It must be nice to lie on it like this. Matt has experience in many challenges. Well aware of the importance of this bed. If you don't sleep well, it's even worse than going hungry. But let's just say one thing. With guys like Matt and them as teammates, it's really safe. With everyone helping each other, the roof has begun to go up. It's looking more and more like home now. Steven is feeling great today. To live in a cabin in a brand new place. That camp was nothing compared to this. Just rest here tonight. Try to get food in the morning. The challenge is now 46 days old. Now we need to assign tasks. Matt and Edgar are on the hunt. The rest of us went fishing. Get as much food as you can. Make sure everyone has something to eat. Boz didn't go fishing. He's the only one who hasn't bow hunted yet. Hoping to prove myself before the challenge is over. There's still birds around. We're going to kill them when they come down to drink. Matt's feeling a lot of pressure right now. If you don't succeed in your hunt, that means people are going to starve. How can I fill my stomach with fish? It's a minimum wage at best. Ager chose to try out for further water. He had a clear target, the crocodile. It's quiet around here. Sure, there'll be food. Vaz heard the birds and followed. Look up, isn't that it? Pick up the bow and take a deep breath. The difference is quite a lot. Just another example of how strong Matt is. You can't beat it in a few days. Like he's patient enough to wait. If there is no absolute certainty, the bow won't even say pick it up. Just to show you how vigilant this bird is. Matt just fired the arrow. The sound of the bowstring scares the bird away. I guess he was hunting too hard. Everyone already knows Matt's name. Hunting is getting harder and harder these days. Ajay went out for hours and got nothing. The fishing side isn't doing too well either. I'm afraid we're all going to starve today. Everybody go back to the shelter for a little rest. Now we have to figure out what to do, okay? If we keep going like this, the jerky won't last more than a few days. Are you going to move somewhere else? That's good news from Dan. Finally caught a fish. That's a little short for 6 people, but it's a good start. Start with some meat for energy. Everybody's pinning their hopes on Matt, hoping to bring back the prey, as usual. Although the original is delicious. But if I could just spice it up, the mood will be doubled happy. Matt didn't make it today, either. It was a visible disappointment. But I know hunting isn't easy. I like some meat to calm my stomach first. If you're out hunting, you can have an extra piece. It's so little food, I can't stand it. They're the only ones who can eat so happily. Everyone is wondering what to do. Hunting has too much instability. The fishing isn't going as well as it used to. Trying to feed 6 people. That crocodile's going to need another one. On the 47th day, Matt chose to go hunting in dense areas. I'm going to get some snakes for dinner today. Edger is a lot more confused. No sign of the animal at all. I feel like I'm being shielded from them. The fishing crew started setting up alligator traps. This might be more reliable than hunting. It looks pretty tempting, if it didn't smell a little bad. I don't think they'd even want to be bait. No one on Edger's side found anything. Didn't even see the fruit. The mental state is getting worse and worse. Chance walked all over the jungle. What about the food resources we talked about? I didn't even see anything there. I was getting anxious, too. He guessed it had something to do with numbers. The smell of everyone scares away prey. It's going to be even harder to hunt, unless we explore further afield, where you're going to stay hungry on the floor. There has been no harvest for several days. The team mood is getting low. If we continue like this, we are doomed. Thinking about moving closer to the extraction point. Maybe we can get more food somewhere else. Matt thought about hunting somewhere far away, and I'd like Steven to keep me company. Even if not hunted, someone could go fishing in the river. That's really good advice. It will take a conservative 3 days to complete. After a brief discussion, I think Matt's going to make it work. Steven's just worried about his body, but I'm willing to give it a try for the team. I hope this trip brings back enough food. We found a lot of capybara on the road earlier. Target them for now. If it doesn't go well, I guess I'll be back with some fruit on the hour. Not much to carry around. Make sure you reduce your physical exertion. Tomorrow is the key to the hunt. Watching Matt and Steven leave. Everyone's heart is very heavy. I don't think they get much out of it. Matt explores the surroundings. No one's opened up here yet. Resources are much better than before. Keep talking to a minimum while walking. Avoid being tipped off by other animals. The capybara is very visible here. I think it's from today's bite. They have been walking for a long time. It's time to build a simple shelter, so as not to disturb the other animals. You should also be careful when cutting down trees. The two really work well together. The structure was put together in a few moments. All we have to do is weave the palm leaves. A simple shelter will do the trick, as long as it doesn't rain. Amber's working on perfecting the shelter. It's less than 2 weeks away. You can't be lazy about what you have to do. Try to solve the gap. We're almost done with the shelter. It's time to check the fishing line again. The good news is a fish is on the hook. The bad news is it's a salted fish. Eating is definitely not edible. Can only be used as bait by crocodiles. Matt and his wife didn't rest after they finished the shelter. Explore as much as you can before it gets dark. Just came to the river and found capybara tracks. Looks like he's a pretty big guy. Follow the trail all the way there. The capybara didn't see it, but Big Bird joined in. Of course, Matt has to make it fun. Watch the big bird carefully. Slowly pick up the bow and aim. The bow must be fast and hard before it makes a sound. You told me Matt was a good shot. It was going for the big bird, but it got stuck in the branches too well. I could have shot it through. Let's just say it was a bit of bad luck. Dan didn't use the fish as bait. To be unbelieving is to taste. It's a lot worse than I thought. I'm afraid I'll have diarrhea after eating this. So let's give it to the crocodiles. Maybe this time you'd like to return the favor. Matt and they have been busy all day. While there's still some sun, take time to get back to camp and rest. It's now in the home stretch. No matter how well things have been going, now is still to keep working hard. A little slack and you could be carted home. How does this day get harder and harder? Matt's side is full of confidence. Definitely enough food to bring home, even to survive in the wild. He wants to give everyone the freedom to roast meat. The challenge is on its 50th day. Vaz took his bow and arrow and went nearby to find prey. Not looking for some big game. I'm more than happy to have a bird. All the stock has been eaten, in addition to drinking water. I'm sure we can make it through the last 10 days. It just wears people out. As soon as Matt and his wife woke up, they went looking for the big bird. Nearby cries that are becoming more and more frequent. Observe your surroundings as you walk. Go deeper and deeper. The more traces that show up. There's a rat sitting in that tree. Steven can barely breathe. just waiting for Matt to come down. But the arrow hit the branch again. The mouse was so frightened that he fell into the water and hid. Stephen immediately went to look for it. It's right here chirping. It's very dangerous to reach in. A bite on your finger would be a disaster. Who knows what it could infect? Stephen's patience is limited. I want to tear this place down. Matt didn't think it was a problem. There's going to be some air in the back. It was worth the wait. Now the sun is not giving face. It is expected to rain heavily in a few minutes. People are sitting in shelters doing nothing. Vaz didn't give up. Always wanted to make it to the big bird. The two sides are still far apart. Walk as slowly as you can and approach. He can't hunt long distances like Mark. Wish it was a face-on shot. Any closer and you're going to startle them. All we can do now is wait. Just sit there and watch. Wait until Big Bird relaxes. Matt and Stephen are very tired. Hunting by force will only hurt you. Catch some fish first to relax. See if you can get a little energy boost. The bait Stephen brought. It's time for the fish to smell it. Remember to open your mouth if you like old iron. I can't believe the fish didn't come. Instead, the little frog came to the door. Sure, this is going to fill you up, even if it means getting a few small fish. Stephen did not cheer up. The effort is not proportional to the gain. Kind of regretted following me here. We got a target on the gas. Just waiting for it to stop and rest. Suddenly, the big bird flew away. He was very confused. He ran away before he could even do it. A whole morning is wasted. Fortunately, nature did not give up on him. There's a squirrel in the tree. But given the chance, you're useless. Watch the squirrel you shoot into the tree. Let's go back to camp and get some sleep. Hunting really takes talent. I feel better about Dan. At least the hit rate is a little higher. Amber began to practice shooting. I guess she doesn't think gas can do it either. When you practice on your own, it's a perfect shot. It doesn't feel like bow hunting is too hard. Might as well let her have a go. Maybe he can bring back his prey. Matt and his boys can still make some fish soup. If the hunt isn't successful by tomorrow, then the expedition was a complete failure. The mood is a little low. I don't know how to face everyone, okay? Try your best not to have any regrets. The challenge is on day 51. The two woke up and began to watch the big bird. It's at the top of the tree. It's way out of range. If only it were a little lower. They got a shot at it. Amber's not catching any fish here either. You can see them right there. I just don't want to take a bite. Maybe it's just a little too much bait. There's no fish to catch now. Try bow hunting for birds instead. See if a novice can bring a lucky arrow. It's a weird posture and it kills you. The bird wasn't even scared. Go get gas and try it now. This may be their last chance. Too bad the man just came outside to do it. The bird says go away. This is really demoralizing. To make sure you have enough strength to evacuate. They can only eat more of it in the palm core. However, a sudden rainstorm disrupted the plan. Matt's not strong enough to shoot in the rain. It's a good thing the bird isn't gone yet. Hold out till the sun shines. Edgina is very worried about people going out. We don't know if they'll make it. Let's look forward to the final push.